Welcome to the Sunset and Northeastern Railroad. This is an N-scale layout built in our second bedroom, and as you can see it has a staging area down here coming across onto the main layout, which then leads on to the main yard on the layout, which is our town called Webster. Over the back of Webster you can see the three classification tracks and an arrival and departure track. Further on there is a Bud RDC, which is part of what will be the passenger station, and then the caboose track, and then a parking track for the GP7 yard switcher. There are quite a few industry tracks in Webster, providing a variety of sources of freight. The main one being, coming around here down the front, is the Webster Light and Power, which is a coal-fired power station, and as you can see is a heavy user of coal hoppers. At the bottom of Webster there's the diesel depot. This comprises a turntable and two tracks, on which at the moment are parked the two GP15 road locos and the RS3 road switcher, which runs the local freights. Coming up the hill we come across here to Ellaby, which is a small station on the line. It has two industry tracks. There's one there with a gondola in it and one over here with a tank car. This has a decent sized passing track so that the freight trains can get out of the way of the Bud RDC as it poodles around. Coming back round here to the front, you see there's a crossover here which enables you to switch through onto the inner loop and come down the hill underneath the industrial siding there into a town of Simstown. This has a very small passing loop because it's purely used for switching purposes, and there are three industry spurs, one of which, as you can see, is a scrapyard which I'm in the process of developing. Coming round again you'll see that there is one switch across here to two industry tracks at what we call Carterville. Now this is interesting because each of these tracks can only be switched in one direction, so it depends whether you're coming from Sunset or whether you're coming from Webster as to whether you can switch the tracks. Carrying on round, there's a further switch here which takes you back round the back and comes along the hidden track down here, which comes through around onto the staging, which comprises of two tracks, and this staging here is obviously dismountable so that we can use the room when we're not running the railroad. The railroad is controlled by a Digitrax Zephyr controller, as you can see there. There is a reverse loop controller underneath the turntable to manage the switching of the polarity, and over here, hidden underneath the scenery, we have an accessory decoder which controls the two electric points.